Fullback.
Fullback, I'd have to say Carl Bennings. He was one of the stronger and bigger fullbacks that we had, but sometimes it was a lack of effort on the field, but he did get the job done.
Wide receiver.
Wide receiver, because we came through a such diverse team of we spread out the ball the most, and I'm gonna have to say the most person I threw it to the most was Antoine Kennedy, because I grew up with him, and it was an understanding of if I threw it to him, you know what I'm saying, I felt that he was gonna catch it every time. Now, there were others who held the record and done those other things, but I don't feel that they were as strong and as talented as Antoine Kennedy was.
So you're saying Antoine Kennedy is the best receiver in Central history?
Yeah.
O-lineman.
O-lineman, I'd have to give it to Deesky.
Derek Wilson.
Derek Wilson.
Okay.
For his age and his now, mind you, he was not the average sophomore that came through there when we were seniors and stuff like that, because he was a pretty decent sized kid, and he understood the plays, and he had quickness, and his footwork was great. At the same time, that I did have also other linemen on that team as well, and I would like to give them their props of what they had, because I went through all the years with Joel Rodriguez. He was also a very smart, intelligent player. Nick Akamovich, he was also, he was thrown into our team a little bit later on as we were juniors and seniors, but at the same time, I have to give him what he had, because he learned the offense faster than, most people that I had seen there.
D-lineman.
D-lineman, I'd have to give it to Adrian McClain, because he was one of the most aggressive, go through the ball people that I'd ever seen, at that time. It's just certain aspects kept him off the field, and we'd have loved to have him there all the time. But at the same time,
So are you saying that Adrian McClain is better than Robert Smith, or you saying in your opinion?
You know what? Adrian McClain was at the time in the team there, but also T.C. Wilson. T.C. Wilson he blew through the line as well, but for his size. And then Rob Smith. I didn't get to see much of Rob Smith's era and Damon Williams, but at the same time, only thing I can go by is the era that I saw at the time, and at the time I'd have to give it to Adrian McClain.
Linebacker.
At the time I'd have to give it to Aaron Smith, because Aaron, he loved to hit people, and he loved to hit them hard. But at the same time, I've seen other great hits by other people, but I would say Aaron, because he was aggressive towards the ball at all times. He may not have been in the right position at all times, but he was aggressive towards the ball.
Cornerback.
At corner, I'd have to give it to Chris Broder, because we call him Stunt. Stunt held it down, because if you beat him deep, you was going to get the 15-yarder, because he wasn't going to let you beat him. But at the same time, he did come up and he did stick better than any corner that I had seen up there at the time, and he understood the defensive plays.
Safety. The all-time best in everybody's opinion is
actually, I'm gonna say because of one hit that I had seen, I would see Jahi Garrett, because I seen against Bishop Knoll, he hit a person and sent them to the hospital. And at the time, I had never seen anything like that in a high school game. And I don't even know what had happened to the kid after that.
Wow, okay. Now, I left one position out, and as you know, quarterback position. There's been a lot of talk about the best quarterback, and your name come up, Keon Frazier, Eric Irvin Woods, Bob Gillis. So I want to get from you, who do you feel is the best quarterback in Chicago Central history, and why?
Well, one, at that point in time, stats speak for themselves. So at the time, I would have to say me, because I had the highest pass percentage rating. But as pure athlete at the game that had the arm, the brains, and the legs for it, I would have to also say me as well. But if we go to pure arm strength, by far alone, I'd give it to Keon Frazier every time.
So you're saying Keon Frazier is the best quarterback in Central history?
I'm saying arm, best arm. But we have to go by, when you have your quarterback, who do you want to lead your team? Do you want somebody who's just going to rock it out there to you, that doesn't understand the total offense, that's not going to get it to you there all the time? Or when you get in a scuffle, are you going to break down? Or do you want someone who's going to have a cool head, someone who's going to get the ball to the right person at the right time? And then stats show that was me.
So best quarterback in Central history is?
Marcus Reeves.
All right. Now, you also played basketball. Just a real quick analysis. I want to throw some names out. Before I get to basketball, I want to throw some names at you on football. Just give me a quick analysis on them. Mike McGee.
Mike McGee, by far, had the best heart on the team. Because I will say this, he gave 110% if he was knocking himself out or if he was knocking an opponent out at every given moment. Because Mike played both ways. He didn't complain. He didn't come out. Only time he came out is when he had to come out because he had hit somebody so hard or he was just too exhausted to get out there for the next play. He also shared the load in offense, and at the same time, he's probably second in sacks on our team at the time. He was thrown into a defense that he was almost in a standing, DN position.
Pause. Tight end.